In today's rapidly evolving world, organizations are constantly looking for ways to enhance productivity, collaboration, and innovation. With the rise of AI, automation, and hybrid work, the way teams operate is evolving at an unprecedented speed. But while technology plays a key role, the human element, culture, leadership, and adaptability remains just as critical in shaping high performance teams. Good morning, good afternoon, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this insightful discussion on solving for work modernization team excellence. My name is Shamil, and I will be moderating today's session. It's great to see you all here, and I'm excited about the conversation we are about to have. Before starting the conversation, a few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded and we will share the on-demand resources with you after the webinar. On the right side of your screen, you will find icons to engage with us through live chat, Q&A, and poll questions. So today we will explore three key areas: the evolving role of technology, like how AI and automation are reshaping teamwork and decision making. Second, balancing security and productivity, ensuring robust security without disrupting workflows. And the last one, future trends in modern workspaces. What next for high performing teams in the coming years? So we'll keep this session interactive, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We will address them during the Q&A session at the end. So before we dive in, let's hear from all of you. I would love to get your quick thoughts on this poll question published here. Can we have the poll question? Yeah, I'll give it 30 seconds so everyone can participate. Yes, I can see that. Yeah, great. I see a mix of answers. This is just shows how multifaceted high performance teams are. Um, yeah, I can see. Yeah, it's not just about technology or leadership, but the right balance of everything. And that's exactly what we will discuss today. Thank you everyone for participating. To unpack these challenges and opportunities, we have two distinguished leaders with us today. Yes. So we have Mr. Mandar Sahasrabudde, CTO Kirloskar Management Services. With over 29 years in IT across multiple domains, Mr. Sahasrabudde brings deep expertise in leveraging technology to drive efficiency and innovation in teams. Then we have Mr. Ashwin Jaisinghani, AVP People Success CS. With over 20 years experience in the business HR function, with special focus on driving business results through effective people management practices and processes. Ashwin will shed light on the culture and people aspects of high performance teams, ensuring that technology and human dynamics work hand in hand. So let's dive right in. To start, I would like to ask both of you, what does a high performance team look like to you? We'll start with Mandar.
Hi, Shamal. Thank you for inviting me to this great topic. Since I'm in technology, we never get a chance to talk about the people side of it. But I'm happy that you invited me to talk about how does this two technology and people collaborate. I mean, that's what really makes the high performance team. Because for the high performing team, I think the first I'm sure Ashwin will talk about the HR side of it, but then taking a cue from it, For the high performance team, definitely for them, what they need at their disposal is a good technology. They would definitely need a good data on which they can take the decisions. They would definitely need a culture, right? So they need resources to work upon. They need the skills to be updated from time to time. And the technology which would allow them a mix of communication and collaboration to work jointly. I think that's what makes the high performance team unable to complete their task. If you see, there are a lot of tools now in the market which offer this communication and collaboration. I think, to just to highlight from my perspective, what is now important for them is the data integrity, and that's most important for the high performance team. Because at whatever level you are going to make a decision based on the data you see. And I always say, data hai. Data hai. You know what data hai? It gives you power of experimentation, power of conviction, power of decision, power of insights. Sorry. Which means, they need the right technology and data at their fingertips so that they can make the right decision and they can perform better and they can give the results. So I think that's from a technology perspective. I would like to, add to your question, answer to your question. Sorry. Thanks.
Thank you. Ashwin.
I think if the question is, what does a high performance team look like more from a people standpoint? I think someone where there are clear goals and shared vision. If everybody is not marching towards the same goal, then you obviously know what's going to happen. There has to be a tremendous trust and psychological safety net in order for the teams to feel that they can speak up, they can challenge ideas, or even admit their own mistakes. And then there is no micromanagement, right? Because there is so much of trust and psychological safety into each other. Um, there has to be a clear definition of what I am supposed to do versus you versus somebody else, so that everybody knows this is my lane, this is where I'm supposed to drive at breakneck speed and still not break my neck. Um, else it can lead to disaster results, of course. You have to have accountability without the blame game, which means you if something goes wrong, I think it's a collective failure. You may still want to appreciate somebody who succeeds as an individual, but I think failures will have to be collectively owned. The I has to be removed and replaced with the we to have a high performance team. Of course, they have to be adaptable, be fast on terms of problem solving, come with a continuous learning mindset, etc. But so these are some of the key things that I feel are required for high performance teams.
Great, great. Both of you have given me so many tangents, and I'm glad that there are a lot of questions I wanted to ask both of you around these tangents only. So, to start with, see, when discussing high performance and team excellence, there are multiple factors come into play, and we would love to hear your insights on these key elements and how they impact your teams. So, my first tangent, my first key element will be the role of technology in work modernization. As technology rapidly evolves, its impact, team dynamics, and productivity, it is undeniable. So, my first question is to you, Amanda. How do you see the role of technology evolving in shaping high performance teams? When we just want to talk about the technology, what is your say?
No, I think definitely technology is going to, play a major role here. When I say that, just a quick example I would like to take, right? So imagine a team which is working as a data scientist team, and they have to probably, end of the day produce reports on which my stakeholders would work upon. Now, for them, the technology earlier was that they had to have the silos tool to get the right reports going, which means probably they would have to get a ETL tool to extract the data, transform it, and load it. Then there will be a tool which would then bring the data to the same format. There will be a tool which will do a BI reporting, and then the reports come. But when it comes to reports, then stakeholders would always come with a change management saying that I needed this change in this report. Right? Now this is a long chain, and this would probably go into operational part of it, never allowing the team to rise beyond what they are doing. Right? It becomes a monotonous job. But now, if you see, the technology has changed it drastically, which means you basically get a SaaS platform which does all this, right from ETL to data massaging to BI to even offering the conversational search, same like Google offers. Right? In Google, you start typing something and it's there. Right? Same way, the conversational search offers you to build and have the reports as you want for the stakeholders. Now that's the beauty of it. So they don't need back come to the IT development team say कि मुझे report में एक column add करना है. This whole change management, gets eliminated. I think this is the value add the team can bring from a technology perspective when they have the right technology and they can perform better. Now, once this is done, then I think their mind starts working upon how can I automate some of the tasks which were, probably being done monotonously. How can I use the RPA? How can I use the new technologies in the market for collaboration? Because I have some of my team members sitting in other country, the other time zones. How can I work collaboratively on a file between these two companies? And doing all this, how do I ensure that the data integrity is ensured? That's the most important thing. Again, I'm saying that. So I think this all can be enabled only if the technology evolves and only if people have kept themselves updated with the new technology. So it's very
Right.
important, for the high performance teams, that they should keep themselves breached with the new technology. They should be reskilled, and of course, they should demand from the management that they would love to have this technology for giving a value add, and they can perform better and better. I think that's how I will put it.
Yeah, so you're saying organizations also they should have these technical stacks in place for their teams so teams can perform better, and this is how uh, organizations will also contribute in team excellence. So
See,
we are
what I'm
saying they should be skilled. At the same time, organizations should provide them these kind of technical stacks also.
Shamal well summarized, but just to add, what I'm saying is for the high performance teams, it's always about the value add, right?
Right.
It's not about what they are doing. I mean, that's their JD, that's their job description. So this value
Yeah.
add is what they would be able to bring if they have the right updated technology.
Right. So Ashwin can shed some more light on this. When I say Ashwin, how are you leveraging these like a role of technology, evolving role of technology in shaping workforce engagement and productivity? As Mandar has spoken about, they should be it's their JD, they should upgrade themselves. So how you can focus more on this point and give us your insights.
I think if I were to combine HR plus tech, that would be the ultimate power couple. HR knows the people, tech knows obviously the processes. I think together they can definitely create high performing teams and hopefully fewer spreadsheets as well. Uh, Technology also helps HR to move away from the transactional to more strategic, because then you have data in order to drive your talent decisions, which otherwise you're handicapped. I mean, today, if you were to ask anybody in HR, right, what does your attrition look like? When is this person's last working day? When is this guy? Do you see him a flight risk? Without that sheet or that system, it's very difficult for one to recall. Of course, AI powered skill matching, career pathing, continuous learning will always help high performance team to stay more engaged and grow, because that it doesn't require human intervention. It doesn't require me to remember, oh, this guy had asked him to do a certification, has he done that or not? When is the next one due? What should he go for the next one? So I define the learning calendar for him, so to say, and help me take use of AI to do that as well. Performance analytics tools is another one, which is coming very strongly, which basically helps you to identify the trends in productivity and as well
Mhm.
as engagement, and helps you to decide on a proactive support that is required. I mean, it's not a post event, it is a therefore you're able to kind of predict and do the right intervention at the right times. And of course, you can also do these feedback loops and pulse surveys, which helps you to do a continuous improvement, and technology comes in very handy out there. I remember earlier we used to do send these forms out. Today these are all automated, right? I mean, you get a small form or a question coming to you as you pop up in the morning, asking you how you're feeling today, and that just becomes part of your feedback mechanism capturing as well.
Great. As you have spoken about AI and automation for this productivity and their engagement. So my next focus point will be AI and automation for efficiency itself. AI and automation are transforming workflows, but the challenge is integrating them effectively without disrupting teams. So my next question is on this only. Mandar, how are you leveraging AI and automation to enhance operational efficiency across? So this is like hybrid work culture nowadays. So how do you do that for the distributed teams?
Okay, Shamal, I would also talk about it from the manufacturing sector because I come more from a manufacturing, right?
Yeah,
Definitely, there are hybrid teams when you say also in manufacturing. So, for example, my office staff would not work on Saturdays, but my plant would work on Saturdays, just to give an example. But I think more of a AI automation is what we are exploring to increase the efficiency in the production, if you ask me, correct? So, for example, quick thing which we did from a RPA or automation perspective was imagine a scenario where probably my company which produces castings has a 10 trucks standing per minute at the gate. Okay, and let's say with the raw material. Now, if these trucks have to deliver the raw material and then come out from the gate, and I don't have to jam this line, so the production goes on. For this is what the simple statement from the board was. This is taking very long. How can we reduce it? Now the vehicle entry till the vehicle unloading and coming out was 30 minutes, and that's definitely was affecting my production. That was also affecting this hybrid teams to work because somebody in the office was working on a ERP and updating the stocks and inventory while somebody on the production was waiting for the part. That's how
right.
typical challenge on the hybrid teams and also on a production. So what we did is we had a RPA tool in place which then allowed me to scan the FASTag and get the information about the vehicle which is coming. So I have advance intimation to the my security at the gate, which means he allows the vehicle as soon as it is there because he already has the details from a FASTag, correct? Then there is
Yeah,
an advance shipment notice which comes with what is that they're going to deliver. Now this advance shipment notice through a bot is matched with my ERP at the back end. So the information goes uh, at the same time to the person sitting in the office. So he knows that what is being delivered. If the stock is less or the stock is more, and then processes the invoice. So which means the vehicle goes in. The only time which we cannot control was loading and unloading, of course, right? But barring
yeah,
that, I'm happy to share that we have reduced it from 30 minutes to 5 minutes and 6 minutes. Now, that's the power of technology, that's the power of automation. If you do it rightly,
yeah,
from a AI perspective, as you rightly said, we started very small again for the hybrid teams. Now, the induction for the new joinees from HR, from a product perspective, was always done in person. Now, it happened that people have joined at various locations, but everybody should know about our product, correct? So what we did is to solve this problem about the time zone, culture, people at different region. We simply deployed a AI hub, which allows people to, at their pace, go and learn about our products. Just query the AI. So, for example, if I ask what's the compliance for my engine, it would definitely give him the entire thing about what does he know about what he should know about the engine when he joined as an intern in the design department. So that's how we have used AI there. We have also done a very nice thing for AI to increase the efficiency of the teams. We asked all the functional heads in the organization that please come out with a problem statement where you would like to use AI. So it could be service team, it could be HR, it could be finance. Everybody was made a mandate that everybody should give one problem statement, and that's how when they realized the power of AI, we could deploy it in their functions. And we made them champions, saying that you are the AI champion. Though you don't do the development, you own the function. And they realized it. They realized that efficiencies of team are going. it's increasing, and then they can use their team members to do something else. So I think that's how we have utilized. I mean, these were just two examples which I thought we'll share so people understand about it. But that's how we are using AI and automation to probably enhance the efficiencies of the teams in this hybrid culture. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. So there is a lot of this AI and automation buzz in the market for last 3, 4 years. And as I've already mentioned that everyone knows about AI and automation and how we can transform the workflows, but it's very challenging to integrate them. Right. So thank you. You have given like a lot of insights and very nice example, so everyone can understand. So my question is to Ashwin that how they are leveraging it for operational efficiency. I wanted to ask you, like, how are you leveraging AI and automation to enhance workforce efficiency while maintaining human connection? Because I remember there's a lot of buzz and people were very tense. They were thinking that AI is going to replace them. But as Mandar has already mentioned, they are getting a lot of time because of AI and automation. They can focus on something innovative or some important tasks. So I wanted to understand from you on this point also.
Sure. I'm going to take a example of a specific function, let's say within HR, rather than making it more generic. So let's maybe use how do we balance the use of AI in recruitment, right? Because that requires, while ensuring that you're still maintaining a human touch, and also at the same time mitigating the bias, right? Because recruitment is so individual driven. uh, and you could be the same candidate being interviewed by me versus a Mandar, and the outcome could be completely different based on our culture backgrounds, our biases that we carry, etc. as well. So, how do you use AI possibly to mitigate those? Would be probably a good case study if somebody wants to. Uh, and AI will, of course, help speeden things up, right? I mean, no doubt about that. But it will still be humans that will make the final call, because robots will never understand a culture fit, or even the sarcasm in the conversation, right? So you will require that human element to still be there. But AI can surely help in terms of reducing the administrative burden, right? So that the recruiters can focus more on relationship building with the candidate. Um, we can use AI to screen candidates, because generally there is a job description which is more data driven in that sense, or word driven in that sense, which they can use for shortlisting the candidates. But like I always say, right, you will still require the people to do the interviews. How do you do continuously audits to highlight if there are any biases and there is enough fairness in your process when people are interviewing candidates? Because everybody comes with prejudice, opinions, right, and their own biases. So how do we also then train managers or recruiters who are doing basically hiring to ensure that they are devoid of any unconscious bias, and we equip them with enough structured interviewing techniques to ensure fairness, and not just rely on AI to solve this? It will still require human intervention, according to me. So that's my 2 cents on that balancing act.
Nice.
Shamal.
Shamal, just to
Yeah,
add, if you allow me, I'll just add to what, a fantastic point brought by Ashwin here. So HI is always going to remain. We talk about AI, but nobody talks about HI. I think
exactly.
HI has developed AI. Let's be clear. AI cannot be ethical. AI cannot make the decisions on himself unless you fed it with the data. So I think people should not be afraid of AI taking away their jobs. Rather, they should take it in a way that AI is going to help me to reskill, upgrade, and add value. How can I use AI to the enhancement of my HI? That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank
Nice,
you.
so nice, nice example. Yeah, so as we
We're
have spoken,
going to use the HI more now than AI.
right? Yeah. Yeah, so as we have spoken about evolving technology, and then we have focused and we have given insights on AI and automation per se. I wanted to understand, like, the next point is again the major factor when it comes to business and organizations, that is security, and at the same time, seamless collaboration and productivity. So, as we say, like, hybrid work has made collaboration more complex and requiring both security and seamless communication tools. So, when we use these tools, I wanted to understand what are the biggest challenges in maintaining secure and seamless collaboration in a hybrid work environment. Mandar.
Okay. Uh, I think if you have noticed now, the data security, data privacy is becoming more and more important. See, while everybody has got the collaboration and communication tools now, the biggest challenge I think would be to balance about the data privacy. I would say that industry has now adopted to the solutions which at least offer you the security while having a seamless collaboration across hybrid teams. That's done for sure because that's going on for the years. But the next thing to focus would be on data privacy. If you see, there was a GDPR in Europe, everybody knows that. But with the current development, the data privacy bill, the data privacy personal act, DPDP is what we call, is soon going to be in the place. And the data localization from the company act. So I think this two would be the very important parameters when you take any decision on selecting a technology for the company, which allows you a seamless collaboration, communication, whatever the technology could be. But this is what you have to balance. See, when as a CTO I make the decisions about the technology, always first is meeting the business goals and how do I enable business. That's very critical. And secondly, I weigh it on data privacy and security, as I told now, right? Again, I would just take a quick example so people understand here. uh, See, imagine that your company has an admin function and he has deployed a visitor management system, correct? He has brought a simple tab which works on a 5G SIMs, and a visitor comes at the gate. He is registered. A mail goes to the employee or the host. He approves it, and you are capturing his mobile number, name, and email. He
Yeah.
approves it. SIM, right? Seems very simple, very simple. But then at the background, your IT has to do a lot of work in sense whether it is hosted internally, whether it is hosted on the cloud. You are capturing PII data. You are capturing name, mobile number, and email, which is a PII data, right? Now, how do I meet the compliance of the data privacy which is coming in terms of this? So, see, this solution was adopted by somebody in admin, but was it consulted by the IT? I mean, IT or
Right.
who care of it, right? The technology. I think these are the challenges I see when you go for adopting a technology and in different functions. So I think IT should be collaboratively involved with all functions when you want a solution. And again, in my experience, I always say to the functional heads that, or the business is, IT is there to provide a solution. You tell us a problem statement. It could be a single line. We will ensure that you get the solution which helps you to work collaboratively, communicate effectively, and ensuring the data privacy and security. I think that's why I took this example and this could make it relevant. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share on it. Thank you.
Right, right. Thanks. So, thanks for the clarity when it comes to technical part of these tools and technologies. So, I want to focus more on collaboration when I ask this question to Ashwin. So, like when we are taking care of security, like technical people are taking care of the security part, how do you ensure seamless collaboration? While fostering trust and accountability among hybrid teams, like this is distributed teams.
So I think firstly, trust is not built with mandatory Gmeet happy hours that you schedule, right? It's built with clear expectations and obviously follow through, right? And to add it, what we follow in our company is less of email CCing. In fact, it's a culture that if you're CCing, then you don't need my input. So whoever you wish to write, if you want to get work done with me, then talk to me, write to me. Uh, Copying Shamal is not going to help if I'm supposed to provide an answer to you, even if I report into Shamal in that case, unless of course I'm not responding, then it's a different
Mm.
mechanism. But what we also do is, as an example, we create safe and BU specific chat spaces where you can update, share, and more importantly, have honest conversations where where all employees feel very, very comfortable, because that's the closed group in that sense. It's my BU, my SBU, my teams in that sense, including if somebody has to get up and say, I have no idea what's happening in this meeting. Be absolutely honest about what you want to share in that meeting. And what we've done is we've ensured that our leaders lead this with transparency. And of course, there should be mutual respect, which means your meetings should be shorter and not have this let's circle back all the time as a concluding remark on every meeting, and then you'll not have any conclusions coming up. So if you're ensuring that you're able to come back with a solution, provide this safe environment, uh, I'm sure we will be able to build and foster trust and accountability amongst teams that are geographically spread across the globe in that sense. And of course, today
Great.
you this
Right.
synchronous, asynchronous ways of working, right? I mean, you don't have to be awake while I want to speak to you. I can just do a video recording and send it across to you. You can view it in your time and respond to me. It doesn't have to be an email. It could just be a chat space message. It could be a video call that a video recording that I've done, like you do in WhatsApp, right? As an example. So if you use these technologies in the right spirit, I think there's it's more easier for you to almost feel that individual, even though he could be probably thousands and thousands of miles away in that sense.
Yeah, rightly phrased. Actually, we have started using this video recording feature when we want to communicate. If people are not available for the meeting, so that is like easiest option. So you can, confidently send it across, and people can, in their time zone, they can, reply, because we also have distributed teams. So now
Sorry,
we have
can I,
spoken.
can I add one point here? Because
Yes, yes, sure.
I mean, he talked about the trust, right? So very interesting thing from a technology perspective. Uh, Contradict to what he said, we never trust. We have a zero trust policy, and that's why technology always says it's a ZTR. If you have heard about it, right? It's zero trust.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
you see keeping multi-factor authentication, multiple admins, and that's how it works. So we ensure trust by having zero trust. That's how the technology works. So just thought to add that to what Ashwin said. Thank you.
True.
Yeah. True, true. So now, as we have spoken about technology, we have spoken about AI, automation. So let's focus on balancing innovation with business goals, because ultimately organizations must innovate while staying aligned with business objectives, and of course, workforce adaptability also. So I'll ask this question to Ashwin first, because it is like, again, people first culture. So how do you balance digital transformation initiatives with maintaining a people first culture?
I think there are multiple ways of doing it, right? Um, One, doing these pulse surveys, right? Ensuring that you get a lot of inputs coming in, and employees are not just relying or replying on saying all good, so that you don't chase that individual again, right? And of course, you can build AI sentiment analysis on top of that to really figure out the real feedback versus the not so real feedback. Um, do these performance reviews more frequent and make them more useful, and so that you don't have to go back and tell somebody, oh, do you remember we met in the June of 2023 and I had told you this types. So can we talk about it now? And obviously nobody remembers, right, as to what was discussed. So for me to measure and sustain employee engagement, especially from a performance standpoint in these modern work environments, we also have to ensure that we are able to reward and recognize the in real time, because appreciation delayed is possibly appreciation denied. So if you are not able to do this in real time, I don't think you will be able to excite your employees to really go way beyond on what is the expectation from each one of them.
Right.
I mean, I
Great.
can go on and on, but I think I'll hand over the
As
mic
I
back.
paused a little bit, I thought you want to add more. No worries. So actually, Mandar, when Ashwin spoke about it, so I wanted to add something like after digital transformation or after digitizing everything. Now, for every organization or business, we can say technical technical vertical is the brain of that organization. When we say HR is the heart of the organization, technical team can be the brain of the organization. We have lot of dependencies on IT infrastructure, technical team. So I wanted to understand, while balancing innovation with business goal, how do you balance the adoption of emerging technologies, keeping it like with long term business objectives? As we spoke about AI and automation, there would be like other emerging technologies also. So how do you adopt? Is there like different that Kirloskar follows to follow all these objectives and keeping the innovation going? So I wanted to understand about that also.
Okay, so I think there is no rule book, to be very honest. When it comes to the when it comes to enabling the technologies for the business or adopting the technologies, I think I have just kept it simple. What I generally prefer is whenever I see that there is a technology which would probably help business from efficiency improvement, productivity improvement, and bringing a value add, I always try to involve the stakeholders right from the beginning. Even if the business leader, I have made it a point that he at least understands the ABC of digital transformation. That's, I think, very, very important, because people just talk about digital transformation, but if you go to the business leaders, they would just say it's IT, yeah. But it's not IT. They should understand that what is digital transformation, what they can really use to enable their business. Don't do it just because somebody else is doing it. Do you really have a need of it? That's why I try to involve the stakeholders right from the beginning, so they understand the technologies we are bringing to them, how it is going to help them, and also take away the fear that if the technology comes, what is that my team would do to answer this. See, it's always a change management, when you adopt a technology to the business. So I think the
Right.
change management part has to be addressed right from when you start deciding about the technology. So that's what I've done. I involve the stakeholders right from the beginning. We have also gone ahead and ran the digital champions program for every function, which means, we said give us POC, he will have to undergo a digital champions training program, and then he will be the SPOC for your function. When it comes to any digital transformation on technology, he would be in my cross-functional team. So
Right.
he gives the right inputs that, I mean, for example, my business doesn't want a web app. My dealers want a mobile app. They want it on Android. They don't want it on Apple. It could be anything. So that's what we do generally when we adopt a technology. Secondly, I think the most important part, which I take care is in terms of the security and privacy. Again, I'm repeating. So these are two important factors that we do when we generally try to enable business with the technology. And thirdly, as you said, how do I foster the innovation there? Correct. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, uh, you know,
Hmm.
when it comes to sorry, you said something. No.
No.
So when it comes to talk about the innovation and when there is a new technology in the market, we always try to challenge our people saying that how innovatively this can be used to make a value add to the business. Simple as that.
Hmm.
And I think people come out with a wonderful solutions there. I mean, the solutions probably could not be feasible, but the ideas which come out are fantastic. And secondly, for us, the innovation is also driven by the compliance which we have to follow, because we are into manufacturing, we are into BFSI, we are into real estate, so we have a lot of compliances. Now, these compliances force us to do innovation. One of the
Right.
examples is data localization, for example, right? Now that has forced us to see how I can change my hybrid cloud strategy. I have to innovate. I have to find a new technologies. So I think that also drives the innovation. If it answers your question, yeah.
Yes. Yes. So y- you rightly said ABC of innovation, adopting these emerging technologies. When I asked you the first question, I remember you spoke about data, and you rightly said that data gives you a lot of things. So my next question is on the same data driven decision making, because data plays a pivotal role when it comes to decision making. So like when we talk about data, data is now a key driver of decision making, helping teams and leaders optimize their performances. So, Manda, what role does data driven decision making play in optimizing team productivity and performance?
Okay. So as I said in the beginning, I have coined this term as data hai, and that's my
Yeah,
royalty, by the way. Sorry. So I always say people used to call data as oil, data as currency. I say data is soil, because soil cultivates. So data cultivates so many ideas, innovations, so many businesses. If you see, there are now people have started businesses around the data. Okay, so data, as you rightly said, definitely plays a very important role when it comes to a decision making. Now, what do stakeholders need is the right data at the right point of time and with the data integrity. See, again, take an example that, for example, my products in the market are, powered by IoT, which means that I'm probably correcting the temperature pressures of my product in the market. At the same time, I'm collecting the IT data here, which means I have a ERP systems to tie up with, my products in the market for the AMCs, for the aftermarket warranties, etc. Now, importantly, how do I make sense out of this OT data and IT data? Both are different. I mean, for a stakeholder like you as a marketing, Shamal, for example, how would you make a sense out of what products are being in demand in the market? Right? If I give you temperature and pressure, you would say, Manda, this is useless.
yeah,
But if I combine this with saying that by doing a proactive monitoring and making customers happy, enhancing the customer experience, how far my demand in the market have gone up, I think that would be useful for you to from a marketing perspective, right? So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, so integration of the IT OT data and ensuring that the data integrity is maintained by using a seamless solution, and giving the right point of data at right point of time will help the stakeholders to make the right decisions. I mean, if that was your question,
yes,
yeah, I think, yeah, that's
yeah,
what I.
nice. So, Ashwin, is it the same for you? What role do data driven insights play in shaping recruitment, retention, and even workforce engagement?
Data can also be called as a cheat code for building high performance teams, if you ask me. Um, because that then all that guesswork gets replaced with actual substantial evidences, right? So, for example, when I'm trying to identify and retain my top talent, with data, I know who's really hitting it out of the park. With predictive analysis, I know who my high potential guys are and even realize as to who has the real leadership qualities. Also, retention data can show me why people are leaving, right? So that I can fix those problems. If I didn't have those data points, then I'm purely doing just guesstimates. Even for the matter in terms of measuring the real performance, right? It's not about how many hours have I put in from an attendance system, which is of no use. I need basically engagement and performance dashboards, which highlight to me where the bottlenecks are. When I'm doing my hiring as well, right? I need data in terms of to know as to where I've had the best hit ratios, which company should I target at, what persona should I look at, because there is data for me to help to decide that these have been successful. If I were to hire from a particular company, they only take offers and get retained. Then I would stop doing that, right? Because that's how I will analyze data. Sentiment analysis, this word is being used by one and everybody, right? In terms of how do i how do I put those sentiment analysis on chat spaces, on emails, uh, on how you speak, etc., such that I can immediately sense what's going wrong where, so that I can intervene in that sense. Data driven um, will help me to do personalized learning and development as well. if I know this individual history in terms of how he or she has, when did she join us, what kind of experience, how they have been performing in the organization, I'm able to really take those inputs and devise an individual development plan for the person rather than based on my conversations. So data can is I think is the only truth that at least I believe in, rather than I feel my gut says so. Of course, the gut has to be strong in that case, but and I do believe that, but it's still data that drives the conversation for me.
Great. As we have spoken a lot about complex things, I guess now we can simplify, we can talk about simplified things. So, my next question, I have two more questions for both of you. So, my next question is about technology simplification. So, technology simplification for productivity. As we see, a culture tech stack can hinder productivity. Simplification is the key to improve efficiency. So I wanted to understand when we say about this complex IT stack, and then we want to simplify it because teams are a little bit overwhelmed when we get or adopt any technology in the organization. So I wanted to understand, Mandar, how are you simplifying IT and tool stacks to enhance team productivity without overwhelming users, because that is the main pain point when it comes to adopting any technology, to train them, then the change management. So I wanted to understand about this.
See, I think, Shaman, there is a simple formula to this. If you ask me, what users want now today, they want they want to work from any device, from anywhere, at any time. Right? That's the bottom line. Everybody
Yeah.
agrees.
Yes.
That's what the end user wants. And as IT, what I want that I don't trust them. There is a zero trust. But at the right time, I ensure that they are able to achieve this objective with the right kind of data at right point of time. Just to sum up what all I said. Now, hence, the solutions like SaaS-based solutions, which would allow this user to work comfortably from wherever they are, is a kind of example of simplification of everything. Okay. Now let's take an example of since you're a Google company, G Suite. That's a perfect example of a SaaS-based solution which allows everybody to work from anywhere at any point of time through any device, but ensuring the right security and right data privacy. Correct. So we are trying to adopt such solutions in the organization, which will help the teams that they are not overwhelmed with the complexities of the IT, but for them as an end user, they always get a simple technology to work upon. And whatever the complex tasks has to be done at the background would be done by my automation or AI at the background. So that's how we have kept, and that's how we have ensured. If it answers and sums up everything.
Yes, yes. So quickly, I want to get views from Ashwin, and then we can move to the next segment. So, Ashwin, how are you simplifying technology adoption to improve the employee experience and reduce digital fatigue? Because it shouldn't be overwhelming for the team as well.
Digital fatigue, in a funny way, is just to stop using your phone. That'll save you from all of that. I think it's an abuse of that tool everybody does. But on a serious note, uh, what we are doing, I think we are basically consolidating redundant tools and integrating platforms for a smoother workflow. So, example, having one HRIS or HRMS for for collaboration, performance management, training, all of that one bundled into one. Have a single login, one single dashboard, one HR platform, so that from a user standpoint, I'm not overburdened. Or that if I have to use this, then I'll require like a 1 month training, like it used to happen in the SAP days. You want to buy an HR from them, it's like a 18-month program just to install and roll out, and another 18 months to understand as to which field means what. So ease of use, I think nobody loves to toggle between hundreds of tools, right? I mean, I would just want to have one single sign on to log into my system, and every time I want to use another application, it doesn't ask me for a login. And of course, in today's world, like Mandar said as well, right, that everybody wants ease of use. So the priority has to be that does it work on my mobile or not. As an example, I've not been to a bank for like some decades because everything is on my mobile. So I don't need to go. I do internet shopping all the time for years now. So that's my ease of use, and I would want to give the same experience to my employees as well. And of course, then you can add AI additional services where there are chatbots that reply to you rather than an HR with a skirt reply. At least the chatbot can be nice and courteous, maybe, um, so that you get quick answers as well, right? It's not like then we come back to you in some moonlight. That those are my
Both.
two cents, Shama.
Thank you so much. So I have actually a lot of questions. We can make sequel of this session, and I will ask you those questions in next part. But because of the time constraint, thank you both for sharing such valuable insights. Let's wrap this discussion up, and let's now move on to our next segment. Let me hand over the stage to Amol, who is our Director of Work Modernization, and he will shed some light on who we are and what we do. Over to you, Amol.
Thank you so much, Shamal. And I think it's a great insights coming from Mandar, who is a technology leader, and Ashwin, who is a human resource leader. Thank you so much. And thanks, Shamal, for arranging this. I've shared my screen. I hope this is visible. Perfect. Thank you so much, team. So, with that, I would like to take more 10 minutes and help you understand when we look at human intelligence, which Mandar coined the term HI. So here are the real solvers from Sears who are helping enterprises in driving technology at their end and bringing up the whole team excellence for their organization's growth. Now, quickly, our organization CEO is spread across 18 different locations globally, right? We are serving close to more than 3,000 enterprises across the globe in terms of different technologies and the professional services that we provide through our core technologies. Some of these, and we work very closely with some key partners and OEMs that basically helps in driving technology through them. And our focus is building practices, building strong services at our end so that we'll be able to deliver, implement, and bring change management of the organization so that they can utilize these technologies very effectively in terms of enhancing the adoption as well. Our organization is being partnered with Google Cloud and AWS, and these are the core OEMs that we are partnered with. There are multiple certifications and specializations our organization has been getting it. We are even a strategic partnership with Google Cloud for AI certifications as well. And there are so many enterprise customers globally that we are supporting, catering to multiple verticals in terms of the FSI, transportation, retail, healthcare. So you talk about core industries at the same time, digital natives as well. Some of the core practices that we drive within Sears, definitely to start with AI, and then with the advent of Gen AI capabilities that is coming in, there are so many requirements organization today has, and I think we have heard some of these requirements in our earlier talk as well. So here's what we do is we basically identify the real business requirement basis that we identify a solution that can cater to, and we identify the areas that AI can support those solutions as well. Through data analytics platform, I like the term again by Mandar, which is data deta hai, and I think that is where is the real thing. And data modernization, governance, and driving analytics through your own data, which is scared at multiple locations, multiple places, bringing all at one place, and running the dashboards on top of it, which will basically add value in terms of taking decisions. The third piece is infra modernization. End of the day, it's important that we cannot stick to the older, non-scalable infra because of the advent of cloud, which was a decade before. But at the same time, we have been using this over a period of time. We've been on hybrid environment over a period of time. It's a time that we will start modernize not only the infrastructure but at the same time the applications as well, right? And then there are areas that will allow us to automate, digitize the business process which are manually running. It could be via email, it could be paper based, and I'm sure organizations which has a combination of corporate as well as the planned, like what Manda was talking about, I'm sure there are a lot of areas which will be able to digitize through the technology that organization needs. Then the important piece is the software engineering, because what we need is there are multiple applications running in the organization. We need recoding of application, re-engineering of those applications, and development of new applications is all the area that we drive as well through our modern software engineering practice. The next thing is purely the services, and this is where the whole value addition comes into picture through Sears and real solving solutions that basically drive. So we have a certified engineers, architects, technical account people who basically understand, work very closely with the enterprises across cloud data as well as identifying ML ops, DevOps. These are the areas we get into the assessment. We drive monitoring, at the same time identifying areas or gaps in order to fulfill those through the core managed services piece. The next thing is future of work, and that's where the amalgamation of human and AI actually comes into picture, because that's when we talk about future of work, we want to modernize the workplaces of individual users, the applications that they are using. IT wants to drive certain controls and security via zero trust is also part of it. So there are three areas. One is the data, the other one is users, and the third one is the devices that they use. Right. So all things comes into one a practice called future of work. Over a period of time, we have also developed our own automation environment, workflow automation environment called Happier Work, that allows you to drive these process automations, business process automations, digitizing small areas that is currently missing through large ERP environments, right? And the final thing is purely the location intelligence. Your organization spread across multiple locations. Your users are on field. Your plans are working. Your projects are happening at different locations. What is needed is a mechanism or a dashboard that can be plotted on a map kind of environment and allows you to identify the area. So you can map or routes, places, and assets can be tracked through location intelligence. And there are multiple use cases that we can drive for enterprises. These are some of the certifications that we have across Google Cloud as well as AWS consulting partners. Across work transformation as well, we are enterprise work transformation, and globally, all these services are being provided. Finally, coming on to the future of work as core areas, there are four key pillars that we drive through our practice, right? One is collaboration, second is automation, third is security. Now, having said about these three, all this can bundle as one single environment, or we can look at tech transformation through individual piecemeal areas as well. And the final thing is generative AI technologies via Gemini AI as a platform coming from Google Cloud. This tightly integrates with your email environment, on your Google Drive environment, on your individual office productivity suite of doc sheets and slides, allows you to generate text, create innovative content, saves enough amount of time for the individuals that will bring a good amount of a productivity across the organization if we start using it. And the best part is this is all covered under the enterprise grade security. So this is not the AI is learning from the data that you are actually putting in. right? This is all the data which is controlled within your domain, within your network. This data is not being shared outside your environment. And finally, important piece is the professional services that cut across all these four pillars, and that's where CS stands tall and strong. And we want to ensure that if you have a vision to move from your current environment to more digitized, more transformative, let's sit across, let's identify areas that we can add value, how we can conduct a business case for your organization along with some stats across the commercial benefits, and then we present this case in front of your management, helping them realize the real value of moving onto this environment and through a partner like Sears. And finally, once the platform is ready or the decision is ready, we implement, we migrate the data, we provide the whole change management so that the adoption can be enhanced. And then we set up our help desk environment post that implementation. And this help desk environment ensures there is an engagement going on and on, along with service reviews, health checks taking place on a quarterly basis or across a specific time period. Beyond those professional services, CS as an organization has started developing applications through our software engineering practices, through our automation practices. We started developing applications that will support your current technology. And these are some of the accelerators that helps you innovate, that helps you create these applications more effectively. And then areas that will allow you to integrate, because these technologies cannot sit alone, right? It needs to be talked to your current environment. So that's how the integrations can be taken place, and through which we drive a realization curve. And this is where the value comes in for any organization. So at any given point of time, whenever the association starts with us, what we want to do is let's focus on your objectives, these core objectives, and basis that areas that we want to implement as part of the activities. Once they would start slowly, you would start seeing the value and your curve would start rising up over a period of time. And that is where the enable first step, the second is the enhancement that takes place, and the third one is purely the expansion, because then you realize how we can innovate beyond this current utilization of the tools, and how we can start talking to other technologies that exist as well. With that, some of the experiences or some of the success stories that I want to drive and help you understand that how Sears have driven this technologies and the services that I've spoken 5 minutes, last 5 minutes. So to talk about first use cases, the India's largest e-commerce are using our services. They're close to 70,000 plus employees are using this technology through Sears. What we've Why we consider this as very complex setup, considering because this is the fastest growing e-commerce. They've been acquiring organizations, they've been growing organically, and there is a lot of dependency on the technology, people who want to use these technologies as well. And then there are data which that needs to be migrated across. So we work very closely with the PSO organization of Google Cloud, ensuring through the mergers or acquisitions, data needs to be migrated smoothly. The next areas that we have identified are the challenges coming through. A huge administration console that needs to be managed, and it is not possible through the in-house IT team or tech team. That's where our technology managed support services comes into picture. We have deployed dedicated resources who manage the entire administration console and ensure that the right adoption from the technology standpoint has been delivered for their domain. And the third important area that we have identified as a challenge is huge cost in terms of spending on the hardware, because of the hardware refresh that we have replaced via very cost effective Chrome operating systems OS Flex across 23,000 set of warehouses machines that they have. Now, these are some of the areas that we have driven at a large e-commerce company. Another use case of a FSI domain, and that they've been using our product and services in order to ensure how users can collaborate with each other, how they'll be able to increase the operational efficiency as well as the productivity through these platforms as well. Because even though there are two different entities within this entire group, they've been using multiple solutions, and bringing under one environment was a difficult task. But through the technology that we have delivered, it could be possible. And this Google Workspace as a platform has replaced the dependencies of third-party solutions like MS Outlook, dependencies on the solutions like MS Office, and we have also delivered a utility that ensured access management controls are being delivered through Sears developed environment as well. Third use case that I would want to highlight is one of the largest migration that Google Cloud for India have taken, and this is a very large IT services organization. There are 20% of organization users have moved to this environment, and this is a complex setup you could imagine, because there is a whole lot of users are on one environment, and then only 20% are moving onto a newer environment. How these people will continue to communicate with the earlier, with the users on a older platform, right? And this is where Sears as an organization came as a service provider to help them migrate smoothly. It is a huge task. It took almost 6 months to 9 months for us to migrate this, provide a setup during the migration as well, and help them realize the actual value of moving onto this platform. And finally, a ride sharing company, which is a APAC use case, which is based out of Singapore, Malaysia, and then they are spread across the rest of the other countries as well. We are helping through our managed services engineers as well. So, with that, I would actually like to invite Shamal back. And thank you so much for your time, guys. I would like to stop my sharing my screen, please.
Thank you so much, Amol. Thank you for all the insights about what we are doing and who we are and what we do. That clears everything. So if anyone wants to contact and know more about work modernization, they can get in touch with us. So there are few key takeaways here because I can't see a lot of questions here, and we have already answered those questions also. So
Okay.
there are few key takeaways here. One, technology drives performance.
Mhm.
It's shaping high performance teams and workforce engagement. Then we spoke about AI and automation to boost efficiency. Seamless integration is key to maintaining productivity and connection. Then we have innovation needs balance, like secure, simple, and people first adoption ensures long term success. Then we have data. So data fuels better decisions, where Ashwin and Mandar spoke about it. So
Absolutely.
optimizing team performance and workforce strategies with insights. And last but not least, future of work is human plus AI. So emerging tech is transforming collaboration, creativity, and engagement. So, wrapping this up, thank you to our speakers for sharing their insights and to all our attendees for joining us. We hope this discussion provided valuable key takeaways, which I have just mentioned, for navigating work modernization. This session recording and additional resources will be shared with you soon. Stay connected, and we look forward to seeing you at our next session, which is on 23rd April. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have been even fun to have more Q&A, but this is good.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you so much. Bye.